So, the journey of the emergence of nationalism in Vietnam has taken many folded stages, milestones. It has crossed many stages and finally it has achieved to the stage of the emergence of an independent nation. So, the newly republic nation of Vietnam could not live longer. It has got again further milestones to be passed on. These milestones are retwisted again as we saw Hitler was attacking the region of French colonies and the French land or the France mainland. So the French people were silent for some time. During the meanwhile, we got the Japanese entry. So the people of Vietnam were fighting against the Japanese people up to 1945 under the leadership of Ho Minh. So we could get independence from Japanese people, but we got the re-entry of the French people back into the picture, and these people entered with their MasterCard, the same emperor Bao Dai, the puppet king, and they made his entry into very clear stand and they started to control it again for a certain period of time. So the dream of the Vietnam people to attain a complete independent state could not reach them to the final stage of success. So again from 1945 to another 8 years, that is up to 1954 in the middle. So these people are very much engaged again to fight against them. After 8 years of struggle continuously under the leadership of Ho Minh, then finally in 1954 at a place called Dien Bien Phu. Dien Bien Phu is the name of the place in Vietnam where the French army was defeated completely with 16,000 soldiers surrendering themselves, plus the officers who are the in charge of the French battalions who have surrendered completely and waived and accepted their defeat. With that, we have the initiative of discussing now for the peace conference. Here is a small twist. Till now we saw the Vietnam people fighting against the Japanese people attained their independence. Then we saw the people fighting against the French people. We got the independence. Now the French people played their MasterCard using the technology or the mastermind of divide and rule policy. Now they came with an initiative that in the peace conference which was held at Geneva, the Vietnam people are forced and persuaded to accept the division of the nation into two parts, that is North Vietnam and South Vietnam. Here the Vietnam people are not given any chance of choice here. They were compulsory forced in the condition that only that they are going to give them freedom. So the Vietnam now got redivided into North Vietnam and South Vietnam. So the North Vietnam was taken over by the communist leader Mr. Ho Chi Minh, and the South Vietnam was handed over to the old emperor. But very soon there was a twist there also. We got the emergence of the new king. The new king name is Ngo Dinh Diem. Ngo Dinh Diem is a man who does not believe in kind of liberal policies, who believes completely in the autocratic rule. In this autocratic rule, whoever starts to question him, they were sent to jail. He became a complete monarchic, absolute monarch who never listens to anyone, who wants a strong, stable monarchic setup, not a communist setup, not a democratic setup. He was fed up with that and he started to initiate many of the people, and his idea was that there should not be anyone who is going to question him. This stand of this Ngo Dinh Diem made the people to get against him and form an independent action force which is going to fight for their freedom. That is the National Liberation Force was again initiated in South Vietnam to fight against them. So now we are going to read what happened in North Vietnam, what happened in South Vietnam, what were the changes that brought them, and were they able to be reunited again, or still there are any milestones that has to be crossed. Do we have any entry of the other forces or re-entry of the Japanese people or any other superpower? Let us discuss them in the next part of the lesson. Now, let us see the developments what happened in the North Vietnam after it was divided and handed over the North Vietnam to our leader Ho Chi Minh. So the Ho Chi Minh was initially following the policy from 1945 to 1954. He was following a very soft policy that we will reduce the tax, we will reduce the rents, we are going to ban the arrears. His stand was very highly diplomatic and he is very soft towards the people. But the people are expecting something large from him. People made him a leader with an expectations like what trends were happened in Russia, what changes have brought in China. So they were expecting him to do something in a very larger scale. So after 1954, they came with a clear stand that the lands of all the rich landlords, where 70% of the entire lands of Vietnam are controlled by the rich landlords, were cut down, were taken over strictly from them. And the major thing what they have done is they have redistributed the lands to the landless peasants who does not have a single pinch of land, were again redistributed, and this made the people to feel very happy. In this way, Ho Chi won the hearts of the people of Vietnam to a very larger extent, where they have waited for the dream to come true, where they have expecting that even an inch of land would make them to feel happy, but he distributed them hectares and hectares of lands which were once upon a time controlled by the landlords, and where the same people are forced to work under the forced labor concept without giving any payment or salaries for them. So this made them to feel really happy and truly their own government. So in this way, the northern part of Vietnam is experiencing a tremendous growth towards a positive sign, and people are very much happy and well connected with the leadership of Ho Chi Minh.